9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
It is Wednesday, and you know what that means. You get to spend it with your timeless elite. And it's the final Dynamite before Double or Nothing. This is your PR princess, Stone Cold Courtney, timeless elite, whatever you want to call me. I am here with you guys on the final Dynamite before Double or Nothing, where they have one more pit stop in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and we are kicking it off with a face-to-face between Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay before their anticipated match this weekend for the Owen Hart Men's Cup Tournament. There's a lot of cases to be made on both sides. I can't pick a direct winner for this, but we shall see. I know I was not on WWT Live today, and I didn't watch the full episode of it, but I know it was in good hands today. I'm feeling better at 100%. I've been battling a very nasty sinus infection, but I'm good at being 100%. But of course, I had to give you guys the final Dynamite before Double or Nothing. But we're doing entrances right now, and we have Will Ospreay coming to the ring. They're both ready. They're both excited. Hi, Eddie Foster. I am doing well. Happy Wednesday. Happy to be with you guys tonight. And Boza, yes, the final Dynamite before, the Sunday Night Wars, because not only you have Double or Nothing, you also have NXT Battleground this weekend. Friday, we're going to have a busy day because we're going to be doing a lot of bold predictions, because not only we have Battleground, Double or Nothing, we also have Saturday Night's main event, and also on Friday, TNA Under Siege. Lots of bold predictions happening. Apologize for that, but let's hear what Toni Schiavone has to say, because they'll be doing their face-to-face shortly. Excuse myself for that, but I do see securities out there in the ring, and I can tell they want to make sure there's no physicality. So it looks like Will Ospreay is telling security to go to the back. Go to the back. And it's going to be him and Hangman one-on-one. Is he really bringing out a beer, Will Ospreay? Oh my god, he brought out a beer. Well, I mean, he's from the UK. I mean, trying to be a gentleman. Trying to be a gentleman. Can't knock him for that. Hangman's looking confused, like, what is this? So it looks like Will Ospreay say they petitioned it to be the main event. That is true, Will Ospreay. They have the responsibility because whoever wins faces off against Jon Moxley and brings it back to AEW, if you know what I mean. And he did make a mention about Forbidden Door, August 24th, in London, England. I'm curious on what Hangman is going to say. And he did held the championship before, but I'm very curious on what he has to say. Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, he has a point there. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, well, Ospreay had to plug in Christopher Daniels. And you made a drill. You made a drill. Okay. Yep, it's in drill. So Will Ospreay admitted he doesn't know how to beat Moxley, but Hangman can, because I know they're trying to portray Hangman as the person to lead, because he's faced him before. I think this is where Will Ospreay kind of needs some reinforcements to help out with the Death Riders. Oh, how I miss my client Orange Cassidy. But he is injured with a torn pectoral muscle. Will Ospreay! Oh my god! He pretty much wants to put down every single person he beat except Swerve Strickland. I don't know if he's beaten Orange Cassidy, though. Showdown. Oh, man. He's chugging that beer! And Hangman just chugged it with a straight face! Well, folks, that is possibly our main event. And I could tell you, do not pay attention to this match. Oh, and thank you for that, Boza, for letting me know it's a main event. Pay attention to this match because I feel like something is about to happen. And for some odd reason, Darby Allin's going to be thrown into the mix. That's just me. And also, I know both of them want to, but gonna need a lot of reinforcements. Because I know both of them want this. But I feel like this is bigger than the AEW title. And I will say, whoever's going to be leading the charge is going to need all the help they can get. But this is our main event. Owen Hart Foundation Men's Cup Tournament. Hangman Adam Page. Will Ospreay for the first time ever. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready. And it's going to be a fun. And I'm looking at the chat here because I was sitting through the entire promo. Okay. Feels like a dress. Well, we shall see with that. And speaking of Jon Moxley, and he has Marina Shafir. Here comes the champ. I'm pretty sure he's going to have a lot to say regarding the Owen Hart Cup men's tournament. I'm very curious on who's going to be in. I'm very curious because I know he's going to have a lot to say regarding Anarchy in the Arena. Also, we have one of the special guests, our producer from the future, Dylan, dropping in for the second week in a row. This is 2 weeks in a row our producer in the future showed up to my watch along with Dynamite. I don't even know what it is anymore, but you're not seeing a ghost. Of course, you get to see our wonderful producer and also putting his lovely pun jokes in there. So I'm so sick of the word. Oh, no. Well, oh, yeah. Thank you, Boza, for that, because we have an all-star tag match. We have Jon Moxley and those obnoxious EVPs, the Young Bucks, taking on Swerve, Strickland, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs. And they're showing from 3 weeks ago where the Death Riders took out Shibata. They already took out Hook. And they're showing what happened at Beach Break last week. So we're kicking it off with that, which makes a lot more sense. Also, I don't know if you guys were there for the preview for WWT Live, but we're also going to see MJF officially signing with the Hurt Syndicate. And I have a feeling a lot is going to happen in that match. I just think that's way too easy. We're also going to see Mina Shirakawa take on Julia Hart with my client, the timeless one, Toni Storm, on commentary. And we're also going to have a face-to-face with Mercedes Moné and my client, Jamie Hayter, facing off one-on-one. And I'm sure Seth's going to be in the chat spewing. And I don't know if you guys know this because there was a match that was announced on AEW socials with Ricochet. Ricochet will be going one-on-one. And I get a treat on this. My other client, Anthony Bowens, tonight, which is so awesome because I am 3 for 3 on clients tonight and super, super excited. And I'm happy Anthony called out Ricochet because you stole the gimmick of my clients, the Acclaims gimmick. They did the scissoring. You just stole the gold scissors, sir. So, I think it's only fair that Ricochet gives back my client Anthony Bowens scissors. So, and you're right, Boza, that's ahead of his match against Mark Briscoe this weekend. And I'm sure we're going to see Mark Briscoe probably lurking around tonight. And Ricochet's been getting a lot of winning the last couple of weeks. I kind of want to see Mark Briscoe get an upper hand in their structure match this weekend. But we're also seeing 2/3 of the trio champions, Powerhouse Hobbs and Samoa Joe. And we're seeing Swerve Strickland along with Prince Nana. He got his coffee, which, by the way, he has a coffee brand, by the way, folks. So make sure check out his socials and buy his coffee. And here he comes. And he said it. The man is going Bucks hunting. And he meant it. So the Bucks, you better beware. And I did see the Young Bucks cheat. Well, this is not surprisingly because this is probably the same gear they wore in their early days with TNA, when they went to TNA, and of course Ring of Honor and New Japan. So, Anarchy in the Arena. That's what I'm thinking, Boza, because I'm like, we still don't know who's going to be. Well, I'm just trying to think who is officially going to be in it, because there's just so many layers to this on who's going to be in what. Because it could be all of the Death Riders, and you could throw in the Young Bucks. You could put in Swerve, Samoa Joe, Hobbs, throwing Kenny Omega. I'm pretty sure Okada's going to be lurking. And we also saw last week Speedball Mike Bailey wants a piece of Kazuchika Okada. And then, of course, you throw in Willow and Maria Shafir. And I do have a feeling they are going to have a match. And it looks like there's still a lot of intense between Jon Moxley and Samoa Joe, which I don't blame Samoa Joe after what happened last week at Beach Break. Ooh, nice move by Swerve. So in the ring, you have Nicholas. And outside the ring is Matthew. Just wanted to be sure. I just have to figure out which brother is working because I know they're twins, so I just have to be sure. So I have to be sure. And the Young Bucks are doing what they do best. Oh, and a missed opportunity by them. Sindel, give me Sindel, yes. I shouldn't put that comment in there, but I'm happy you're joining. Yes, you will see Mina Shirakawa. As I mentioned, she will be facing off against my client, the timeless one, Toni Storm. And Moxley with a dive onto Powerhouse Hobbs. And Samoa Joe looked like he's just breaking a sweat. Typical super kick by the Young Bucks. No surprise there, but what else is new? Ooh, nice move by Swerve. Nice counter. Ooh, nice move. These are some Arsenal offenses I've not seen. I mean, I have seen from Swerve, but it's actually nice. Sindel, Mina's gonna get her moment. I just want to be sure. I know you want Mina to, and she said this many times, that she wants a shot. She will. I believe Mina Shirakawa will be AEW Women's Champion. Oh yeah, I can imagine that. That'd be crazy. And plus, if you saw in that New Japan, if you saw Resurgence from New Japan, Mina still has unfinished business with Mercedes. And I'm pretty sure AZM probably has unfinished business with Mina Shirakawa, but it got very ugly very, very quickly. But we shall see. And even though the match is in picture-in-picture, the match is still going live, and Swerve, he did the gritty and doing what he does best. But yes, if you're with me, you're with the Timeless Elite, the PR Princess, Stone Cold Courtney, with you tonight on this final Dynamite before Double or Nothing. We have an all-star trios match. Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks taking on Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs. As I mentioned, we're still going to have MJF officially signing with the Hart Syndicate. I do smell some shenanigans and something that's about to happen. We're also going to have Mina Shirakawa and Julia Hart taking on, along with my client, the timeless one, Toni Storm, on commentary. We're also going to have a face-off between Mercedes Moné and my client Jamie Hayter before their anticipated match this weekend at Double or Nothing, and also another match that we thrown in right before the broadcast. Ricochet will be going one-on-one with my client Anthony Bowens before his big stretcher match against Mark Briscoe this weekend. So lots of action happening, and it's only 8:30. So we're just getting started. She was in that match, Sindel. I didn't watch the full match, but that match was insane. And congratulations to AZM again on being the new New Japan Strong Women's Champion. Look, Seth needs to get over that because one, Mercedes is still undefeated. She hasn't lost the match yet. And don't be messing with Tanahashi. Tanahashi's a busy man, and he's on his retirement tour. Let the man enjoy his retirement tour. Just let him enjoy his retirement tour. Jeez. Give the man a break. And also feel free to put in the channel who you think is going to win this trios match. You think Moxley and the Young Bucks, or Swerve, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs? I actually would like to see Samoa Joe, Hobbs, and Swerve win this because I know the last big all-star match that happened that involved Swerve and the Young Bucks. One of the Young Bucks actually picked up a win over Swerve. Swerve is not too happy about that. So it would be nice for Swerve, Joe, and Powerhouse to get Hobbs to get a win just to continue that momentum. It would be nice, and especially right before the anticipated Anarchy in the arena match. I just want to know who's officially in this, because there's a lot that can happen. I still believe Marina Shafir and Willow Nightingale are going to have a one-on-one match at All In Texas, because if they really want to pull out all the stops, I would love for this to happen. And also, this will actually be this will be a women's match where it doesn't involve the title. Oh, and also a programming alert, because I was not on. Programming alert, AEW Collision will be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. on TBS. So just to put it on your calendars, reminders, everything else, AEW Collision will be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Because obviously Double or Nothing is this weekend. So that is smart of them to do it live tomorrow, at least back to back, so they can handle everything that's happening. And they also in Albuquerque, so they get to travel through Albuquerque right before they hit Arizona. So that's kind of a win-win. Well, thank you for that, Sindel. Well, we shall see, Sindel, because they do have a partnership with New Japan. So hopefully they can get their act together and bring them in, and also just develop storylines. And crappy EVPs. I'm sorry. Look, I got nothing against it wrestling-wise. It's just, you know how, like, when you were a kid or in school, you dealt with obnoxious people who, like, had all the contacts and the money and everything else and thought they were better than everybody else, and then it turned out to be annoying, and then they never had actual friends. That's who the Young Bucks remind me of. They're just, like, obnoxious, annoying little pricks. And thanks for that program reminder. Yeah, exactly. I'm happy they didn't do it for Saturday Night Live. Mox is getting desperate. I say that because he needs help. That is true. And I actually said this a couple months ago on my watch along that I would not be shocked if the Death Riders and the Elite were working side by side, because it just makes a lot more sense, because the Elite has power, and John Moxley, they're kind of the heels that want to destroy everything about AEW. So that makes a lot of sense. But I feel like now, with everything happening, it's now starting to be a very cohesive unit, because sorry, it looks like John Moxley's making work of Swerve. Took out both Hobbs and Samoa Joe. I'm gonna tell you something. If they pin Swerve again, that has to be it. Oh, say. I know this may not happen, but for Anarchy in the arena, because I know Swerve is going to be part of it, if I don't see Prince Nana having a pipe in his hand and just beat the crap out of everybody that touches him, where are we going with this? Because Nana used to be a wrestler. Don't let his looks fool you. He used to wrestle. And I'll never forget last year at Double or Nothing. Swerve was the champion, and he's facing off against Christian Cage. And he came out with a pipe. Nana came out with a pipe in his hand and chased Nick Wayne out of the ring. I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, I need Prince Nana to have a pipe or a weapon or some type of in his hand this weekend. Just give me that, and I'll be happy. All right, so even though the match is in picture-in-picture, the match is still going live. I'm going to say that's Nicholas in the ring, taking on Swerve Strickland. But feel free to put in the chat on who you think is going to win, because this is actually a really decent... This actually has been a really good first solid match to kick off so far. I'm very surprised they're kicking it off with this one, because I'm very curious on what the main event is going to be. And I do have a feeling it'll probably be due to Anarchy in the Arena. That's what I'm thinking, because I know exactly. It has been a great match. It's going to be very interesting to see, because I feel like it's going to end with something related to Anarchy in the Arena. Because I'm looking through the card. I mean, it would be great for the ladies to end. I mean, I'm always in for women's wrestling. This is women's wrestling talk. We advocate for all the ladies. But it'll be very interesting to see how this is going to end Dynamite. And also, we have a few matches added to Double or Nothing, if you guys are not aware of. FTR, with that Weasel Stokely, will be taking on Daniel Garcia. And Nigel McGuinness will be back in the ring. If you have not seen Nigel McGuinness matches, go check him out when he was in Ring of Honor. Go check it out when he was in TNA. Go check out some of his recent matches that he had. But you have to. I'm as much as I always get on Nigel when it comes to commentary, he's a really great wrestler. There are many wrestlers that do appreciate Nigel McGuinness. So I'm excited to see Mr. Nigel back in the ring. But I saw shenanigans in that match too. Why do I feel like Daniel Garcia is going to turn on FTR? I don't know. But we shall see. Oh, yes, Boza. Thank you for telling me that. So I'm watching Collision this past weekend. I have a DVR. I'm watching it. And apparently it stopped airing due to tech issues, because I see the bottom part saying, due to technical difficulties, we're not airing AEW Collision. But if you want to watch it, it's currently on Max. It's currently on Max right now. And if you have not watched it, the Hurt Syndicate will be defending their AEW tag team titles against Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes this weekend. So kudos to Sammy and Dustin. I love it when those guys definitely step up to the plate. But it's going to be very curious on the tag team division, because it's too soon for FTR because they just turned heel. There's a lot to prove in this. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the compliment. Yes, Dustin, if you saw my watch on last week, I was like, who are you calling Grams? Dustin Rhodes is not no Grams. And he still could kick it. Marina Shafir, you better back away from Prince Nana. You're lucky. You better back away from him. Marina, I know Marina, she has a background in MMA. She's trying to act sassy and everything else. I'm just saying, don't mess with Prince Nana. Hey, if he has a pipe in his head or a weapon, you better run the opposite way. You don't want to mess with it. You do not want to mess with him. And we're back live with the trios match between Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks taking on Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, and Powerhouse Hobbs. And it looks like Moxley has a submission hold on Swerve Strickland. It's going to be very interesting to see Double or Nothing, because I feel like with Will Ospreay and Hangman, it's not going to end clean. And there's so many layers to this. And I know both of them really want to represent AEW, but I feel like this is more bigger than the AEW World Heavyweight title. this is also about representing the brand. And also, I noticed they tried to make teams to go against either the Death Riders or the Elite or whatever. And sometimes it's dissolved because of ego, they're not on the same page, and it's not really consistent. I feel like with this time around, they do have some people that they can rally up with the Death Riders. Because when this first started, they tried to get some stars from the roster to really step up to the plate. Nothing against like the Dark Order or Top Flight, but some of their top tier stars were doing other things, with the exception of Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. But I think this time around, since a lot of them are not involved in other storylines, this can actually make a lot more sense. And you're also including some stars like Speedball Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight, who have an issue with not just the Young Bucks, but they also have an issue with Kazuchika Okada. Also, Darby Allin's going to be coming back in the horizon soon. So hopefully he will join the play. Maybe somewhere down the line, Jay White, because he broke his hand. He still has issues with the Death Riders. There's a lot of angles that could go with this. And I'm very to see. And it's a gamble to main event with a match. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. There's so much shenanigans. And also, don't be on the lookout for the Death Riders. Be on the lookout for the Don Callis family. Because I know Don Callis will be watching this main event very closely. So make sure you pay attention to the Don Callis family. Ooh. Super kick to Samoa Joe. Oh, clothesline by Samoa Joe. Kill shot. Oh, that was a nasty kill shot. That was very nasty. And he did the house call. Hey, Swerve said he was going Bucks hunting. He said it. He's going Bucks hunting. And Prince Nana's filled with the Holy Spirit. Ugh. I will say Prince Nana and Don Callis are really bringing the true meaning of being a really good manager. And I'll also throw in Stokely too. And MVP. They are really trying to bring the relevance of what a good manager is supposed to do. And I do applaud that. And I would like to see a lot more managers in AEW pop up in the near future. Tag is made to Powerhouse Hobbs. He is one mean big man. And it's funny, he was the only guy that almost beat Moxley, Powerhouse Hobbs. And that's a shame. Because when we did the watch on for Maximum Carnage, I was like, this is the guy that I thought would have a chance. Spinebuster to both members of the Young Bucks. Jon Moxley, he's just like outside the ring with Maria Shafir. And Swerve. And Moxley, he came in. Samoa Joe took out Jon Moxley. Super kick to Samoa Joe. Double suplex. Oh. Double suplex on the Swerve. And, oh, Lord, an EVP trigger. Ooh. Both of their kneecaps. And look at Samoa Joe. He's putting the submission on. I'm so happy Swerve got the win, because I would tell you, when they lost a couple weeks ago in that All-Star, I could tell you Swerve was not happy. But woo! Your winners. Swerve Strickland, Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Nana doing the dance. All is well, but of course, Moxley and the Young Bucks taking out all three of them. Here comes Claudio, and oh yeah, the little runt wheeler Yuta. I mean, the only person I can see coming out is Kenny. I can see Kenny coming out. I wouldn't be shocked if And Marina, of course, she took out Prince Nana. I'm not surprised. She shoved Mr. Nana. Oh, there's Shibata. He's back. He's back after seeing him. The only person we haven't seen is Hook. And of course, we got to see Kenny. Because I know Kenny Omega has to come out sooner or later. And I'm pretty sure we'll get a glimpse of Okada, too. Because Okada is somewhere lurking. But it's nice to see Shibata back. So nice to see him back. So nice to see him. And Marina Shafir giving a low blow to Shibata. That little runt Wheeler Yuta. And here comes Willow. And you also have to remember at Collision a couple weeks ago, Marina Shafir and Wheeler Yuta came out and took out Willow too. See, I wish her friend Chris Statlander came out too, because well, I just want to see her beat the crap out of Willow. And I love her. And she resigned. She resigned and she's with AEW. And here comes Kenny Omega. I knew Kenny was going to come out sooner or later. There's Kenny. And also, if you read in an article that I shared on Fightful, he is taking care of Hikaru Shida's cat while she is doing her visa. That's why she hasn't been on television for a while, Hikaru Shida, because she's same thing with Jamie Hayter. They're getting their visas renewed and trying to take care of that. But that's really nice of Kenny Omega to take care of her cat while she's handling that overseas. And he said it on Twitch. What do they do? And they brought out the table. They brought out the table. Yep, AEW got lucky. Yeah, it would have been. It would have been so. Kenny. And look at and Prince Nana's on his feet. Yay. He's got one of those pesky EVPs. And Claudio saved one of them. Well, it looks like the Death Riders are going at ease. That's why I feel like there's going to be more to this in the main event. So stay tuned, boys and girls. There's a lot more to say. Oh, stop crying like a big baby, you pesky EVPs. Hold on, Samoa Joe's going to speak. Oh my God, they're going to start Anarchy a little early. They don't want to wait till Double or Nothing. Yeah, so I guess it looks like it's going to be Swerve, Kenny, Samoa Joe. Oh, and we are here with the Hurt Syndicate because they're getting ready to sign with MJF in moments. Oh, yes. When in doubt, always get Alicia. Mark Sterling. Look at his suit. Did he just call him Bob? Oh. Alicia said, it's just so ironic they date in real life, but on screen it's like, oh, we don't like each other. Alicia knows the assignment. Yes, Boza, that is happening next. I do, and you're right. It's a possibility Dustin and Sammy may show up, but also everybody's been saying Cedric Alexander may show up. But we shall see. There's a lot that can happen. But thank you guys for joining with me on Timeless Elite Wednesdays with your PR princess, your Timeless Elite Stone Cold Courtney, with you on this watch along tonight on AEW Dynamite. We kicked off, I have to say, this is the final Dynamite before Double or Nothing, and we kicked off very hot. I will say, this has been going good. We saw Hangman Adam Page and Will Ospreay have a stare down with each other. That was very intense. Both of them really want it. They really, really, really want it. Very intense by the both of them, and it was definitely a must watch. And I'm very happy they are going to be the main event.
We have Moxley and the Young Bucks versus Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs and Swerve. Sort of Strickland in the All-Star Trios match.
You know what? I don't know the last time I've been here, but the contract signed. The Hurt Syndicate contract.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. It's kind of crazy. I mean, thank you, Boza. I'm very happy I'm doing this watch along too. Yep, I am battling it. I'm almost at 100%. I think by this, since it's been so hot, I don't even know if I need to do a post show for this because there's just been so much that has happened. It's like, oh my god, what can go wrong? And we still have a lot to come. Of course, up next, we have the contract signing with MJF and the Hurt Syndicate. We also have Mercedes Moné face-to-face with my client, Jamie Hayter. I'm going to tell you something. The men brought it. I need the ladies to really, really step up the game. I need my client, Jamie Hayter, to really go in on Mercedes. I really want her to really put a knock on her after she lost her New Japan Strong Women's belt. Because I know Mercedes said, well, I'm undefeated, but I really want Jamie to put that plug in. That has to happen. It has to happen. And then, of course, we have Mina, Shirakawa, and Julia Hart with my client, Toni Storm, doing commentary. My other client, Anthony Bowens, taking on Ricochet right before his match against Mark Briscoe this weekend in a stretcher match. And those are the matches. And a lot could go wrong. We don't know. So, lots to happen, but we don't have to wait too long because here comes the Hurt Syndicate. Here they come. The reigning AEW Tag Team Champions right before their match against Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes, the reigning Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions. Hi, Jose the Assistant. Thank you for joining on Timeless Elite Wednesdays with your WWT PR Princess, your Timeless Elite, everything you need to know on what's happening right now. The final Dynamite before Double or Nothing. I'm going to say this right now. I have a feeling the Hurt Syndicate's going to hold those titles throughout 2025 until early 2026. The reason I say it is because I'm looking at some of the tag teams in that division because you have the Grizzled Young Vets, you have Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong, FTR somewhere down the line. That's going to happen. Those are the tag teams. But outside of that, who else would be willing to step up to the Hurt Syndicate? And we're going to hear from MVP. And there's Mark Sterling in the ring, his lawyer. Here he comes with the suit, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes MJF, the newest member of the Hurt Syndicate. He's dappled up in gold, all right. Please hurt MJF. And he took the sign away. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. And Mother's Day happened earlier this month. I know, Boza. I know. Respect? He's the last person that should be saying anything about respect. You have respect? Yeah. He's the last person I would ever give respect to, MJF. Mark Sterling. Oh my god. Mark Sterling. Jeez. Well, he's signing the contract, ladies and gentlemen. They signed the contract. Okay, Shelton signed it. The lawyers. I guess Shelton's talking with the lawyers. Shelton signed. And Shelton gave the pen to Bobby. Is Bobby going to sign? That's the question. He gave the thumbs up last week. Is he going to sign? Boza, be nice. Be nice. I don't think Bobby looks like he's going to sign the contract. And MVP is trying to keep the fray. Is he gonna sign? Oh, I guess he did sign. He signed the contract. Oh, hold on. And here's Sammy Guevara and Dustin Rhodes, their opponents for this weekend. Let's see what Mr. Dustin has to say. I always love seeing Dustin. He's great. And happy to see Sammy Guevara back on Dynamite. Dustin! Oh yeah, they were part of the first Double or Nothing. If MVP saying be careful what you wish for, you should know how Dustin wrestled. Why do I feel some oozeness whenever Dustin does a promo? Oh yeah, this Sunday. 6-year anniversary of Double or Nothing. But Dustin and Sammy They said what they had to say. That's going to be a fun one. And we are backstage with Kazuchika Okada, the reigning Continental Champion. And he's mentioning from Speedball Mike Bailey last week, because Speedball called him out last week. So it looks like Okada okay. So it looks like Okada put out the challenge to Speedball Mike Bailey at Double or Nothing this weekend for the Continental Championship. Fact is, Speedball Mike Bailey has not been pinned or submitted yet. But it is going to be an anticipated match that I'm looking forward to see. And up next, we get to see Ricochet taking on another client of mine, Anthony Bowens. Ooh, and the thing about it, this is actually Anthony's first singles match on Dynamite in a while. I just realized that because the last matches that he did recently were all on Collision. So this is his first match on Dynamite since January. Oh my God. I can't believe it. Where has the time gone? Oh my goodness. It's crazy. Yeah, this is it. Yeah. Boza, I had to really think about this. I was like, oh my God. The last time he competed on Dynamite was back in January. But it's always a day when I see all my clients on action. Like I'm seeing my client Toni Storm on commentary later. I'm seeing my other client Jamie Hayter, and then I'm seeing Anthony Bowens. But after this match, we got one more match to go, and that's the women's match. It would be interesting. Exactly. I know Anthony will be fine. He will be fine. I'm not really worried about Anthony because he's gonna have Billy, but you took the guy's gimmick. Ricochet took his scissors trademark. So he is the original Scissor King. Anthony Bowens is going to show that annoying bald-headed nerd, you don't mess with the Scissor King. You don't mess with the 5-2 player. So. But I'm very excited. I am so excited for this first Dynamite match since January. And here he comes, Anthony Bowens. It's just so crazy that it's not a Collision. I will say, and I can say this from my own, that I actually got the chance to meet Anthony Bowens in person back in January. And he is the absolute sweetest human being you will ever see. And he's a great hugger too, because he hugged me. He's a really great hugger. He's super nice, super sweet. Did I also mention he's from my home state? I'm just saying. Oh, and as somebody that's one of my clients, hey, I love it. But it's 9:14, and you're getting hanging with me, the Timeless Elite. And if you're tuning in right now, you will see my client, the Scissor King, the 5-tool player, and one of New Jersey's favorite sons, Anthony Bowens, taking on Ricochet. Took his scissor gimmick. There's only one Scissor King, and that's Anthony Bowens. Right before his anticipated match against Mark Briscoe this weekend in the stretcher match. I'm sure we're going to probably see Mark Briscoe. That's so cute. Somebody had a sign that said bald, and it had every single bald person in AEW. That's really smart and creative. I'm pretty sure we'll see Mark Briscoe popping somewhere, either during the match or after the match, and that'll hype up their match this weekend at Double or Nothing. Oh, and also before I forget, because I don't want to put out too soon, I will be doing a watch along for Double or Nothing this weekend. I know, I'm pretty sure Will may be doing a watch along for NXT Background, but I'm doing a watch along for Double or Nothing. So get your popcorn, get your water, because it'll be fun. And here we go. With this match, I'm pretty sure Ricochet is going to be probably playing some mind games. Billy, stay out. Billy, stay outside the ring. Don't get him disqualified. And also, just a reminder for programming, tomorrow night, Collision will be on TBS at 8 p.m. tomorrow. Just a little quick FYI regarding programming. Anthony is so good in the ring. I would love for him to be in the Continental Classic later this year. I would love for him to do that. It would be so cool, so awesome. Is he really talking trash to Billy? Billy is not stupid. He was really gonna hurt. He slapped his bald head, Ricochet. I love it. Oh wow, Excalibur said you have to put your opponent on the stretcher and put that stretcher in. Yeah. Thank you for that, Bosa. I mean, that's an interesting way to put it. Billy throwing Ricochet back in the ring. Well, thank you for that, Bosa, on the description of the stretcher match. That's really interesting. And that's really interesting to look at. Here we go. Ricochet taking on the true Scissor King, Anthony Bowens. Who does he think he is taking? Their trademark scissors. And Ricochet, he had to grab the referee. Oh, he hit him on the ring post. Ugh. So the match is picture in picture. So even though it's a picture in picture, the match is still going on. So little FYI from all this. Just to let everybody know so we can pick a winner Friday. I know it's gonna be crazy. I think we'll do a little bit of news because we have predictions for everything from TNA Under Siege, which is Friday, NXT Battleground, Saturday night's main event, AEW Double or Nothing. Oh my god. We're gonna be doing pretty much a round robin on Friday. And I will be back on WWT Live on Friday, because I wasn't there the last 2 days, but I will be back on Friday, and I'm pretty sure, especially during Double or Nothing, Seth's gonna probably have something to say about Miss Mercedes Moné, but I'm gonna be ready for rebuttal with my client, Jamie Hayter. Correct, Boza. I will be doing coverage for Double or Nothing. Let me see what time it is, because I know they start an hour early. I know they start an hour early before us. Oh, it is at 7. I guess they start a little bit early. 7 o'clock. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, because I just confirmed. It looks like they're going to be starting Double or Nothing at 7 p.m. Oh, it's going to be 8 p.m. I really thought it was like 7 or 8 p.m. I guess because they're starting an hour early. So it's yeah, thank you for that, Bosa. But yep, I will be doing a watch along for oh my god. Don't worry, Bosa, I'll be back on Friday. But yep, I will be doing coverage for Double or Nothing this weekend. So you can always hang with me, because I'll be showing love to AEW this weekend. And I'm watching closely on my match. Even though it's picture-in-picture, the match is still going live between Ricochet and my client, Anthony Bowens. So, because it looks like Ricochet has the upper advantage. And also be on the lookout for Mark Briscoe, too, because he may pop up either during or after the match. And that'll be helping out with their match this weekend. And we are back live with the match. If you're tuning in, you're hanging out with me, WWT PR Princess, Stone Cold, whatever you want to call me, Timeless Elite, with you on the final Dynamite before Double or Nothing. And it has been a very fun and impactful show, and a final go home before Double or Nothing this weekend. And we have Ricochet taking on my client, Anthony Bowens, one-on-one. And this has been a really good match. And this is Anthony's first Dynamite match since January. That is crazy. That would be funny if Ricochet did lose in this match. That would be pretty funny. Because he won 4 in a row the last couple weeks. I don't think it would hurt him to get a loss. I know people were kind of a little bit bummed that Anthony Bowens ain't getting the match this week. Oh, and it's official, ladies and gentlemen. For the AEW Continental Championship, it will be Speedball Mike Bailey taking on Kazuchika Okada. So it is official. And we have tag team action. We have Rush and Dralistico taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. And I want to say Kevin Knight. I have it on my TV screen. But they just announced it for Collision tomorrow night, which is good. Oh, Commander and Speedball. I don't know why. Thank you, Bosa. Commander and Speedball. And that'll be a fun tag team. Oh, Ricochet kicked out of 2. I could tell by the look on Anthony's face. I know people were saying Anthony does have a match at Double or Nothing, but I've been saying this, and I'm gonna manifest it. It will be Anthony Bowens taking on Max Caster at All In Texas. And I am excited I'm still going to manifest that. I still believe that's going to happen at All In Texas. I know I said at Double or Nothing was going to happen, but it's going to happen at All In Texas. Mark my words. But it would be kind of funny. That would be pretty hilarious if Caster did try to screw Anthony in this match. That would be pretty interesting to see. That would be kind of interesting to see. I would laugh my can off because they need a match at All In Texas. That would be pretty hilarious. What's Billy doing? What is he doing? And Ricochet had those scissors. Hit Anthony in the head with those scissors. That little weasel. And that's it. Ricochet won the match. He ran away. I thought Mark Briscoe would at least come out. Not the way to have Anthony's first match back on Dynamite since January, but he did show a good effort. I thought at least Ricochet would lost, but I guess he's building. I know he's not mimicking my client's signature. Just for that, I would love for it. Oh, here comes Mark Briscoe. Speaking of Mark, Ricochet, you bald-headed nerd, you better turn around. Ricochet, don't even think about running to the ring. Mark Briscoe already put a Ricochet to the... He's feeling froggy. Oh, of course, Ricochet ran like a scolded dog. I think after this, it would be interesting to see Ricochet and Anthony have a rivalry after Double or Nothing. But I feel like he's going to continue work with Mark Briscoe. But I am manifesting Anthony Bowens versus Max Caster is going to happen at All In Texas. I am going to manifest that because they definitely need a match, but we shall see. And they're definitely showing the matches for Double or Nothing ahead of this weekend. Oh, and here we go. Okay, so Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, Shibata, Kenny, Swerve, and Willow taking on the Death Riders, the Young Bucks, and Marina Shafir. Okay, so now we have our official participant for Anarchy in the Arena. That's going to cause a lot of chaos. I feel like there's going to be a lot of shenanigans. Oh, and Mercedes Moné is putting a TBS Open Challenge tomorrow against Reina Isis. And she's from CMLL. Ooh, and you know what? This is one of the things I love about AEW, because especially if they bring in women in from CMLL, New Japan or Stardom, I love that they show archive footage and explain who they are. And they're no joke. And I love that. I love that, what they do. I guess she's putting that up TBS Open Challenge ahead of her match against Jamie Hayter. But up next, Mercedes Moné, my client Jamie Hayter, face to face. I have to tell you, Jamie needs to take a shot. especially of what happened last week. The first ever, a first ever 12-person intergender anarchy. That is a first. And also, I am manifesting that Willow versus Marina Shafir is going to happen at All in Texas. I know Double or Nothing, but I feel like with All in Texas, it has to be on their biggest event. And plus, if they really want to push the limit with the fact they're going up against Saturday night's main event, they kind of have to pull out all stops. And plus, I wouldn't mind seeing more than one ladies match in the pay-per-view card. Same. I'm glad they don't assume you're stupid. She must have. Well, we shall see. She is undefeated, even though she did lose the belt. Well, I just can't believe it's 9:30 and we're going to have our face-to-face. I know this is going to sound crazy, but what if the ladies... This is just a thought, because if we're going to have this, what if the ladies main event? What if the ladies main event tonight on Dynamite? I actually wouldn't be complaining if that happened. I mean, I don't want to get too excited or anything, but the ladies main eventing on Dynamite? The final Dynamite before Double or Nothing? What are we doing here, folks? But I'm manifesting. I'm manifesting, and I'm going to see what happens. So, let's... So interesting. Oh my god. Wow. Okay, so here's... Oh yeah, that Weasel Stokely. NFTR. so, so it looks like they're going to be doing a contract signing tomorrow, which I'm not surprised it's on Collision tomorrow with the fact Nigel's doing commentary. So that's a little bit annoying. And it's not a surprise that Miss Renee is out in the ring. Well, we're going to hear from the female ones, but yeah, it looks like we're going to have a contract signing tomorrow between FTR, Daniel Garcia, and Nigel McGuinness, and we're also going to see Daddy Magic and that little Weasel Stokely. There's Miss Renee in the ring, and she's trying to get our final two ladies for the Owen Hart Women's Tournament. And speaking of that, here comes my latest client, Jamie Hayter, coming out. Here's Jamie. You know, it's funny they said TBS. They didn't mention of the other belt, the Red Pro championship that she won. Well, she does have 2 belts. She has 2 belts. I mean, come on. I can tell she's not too pleased. I can tell from the look on her face she's not too pleased with what happened last week with New Japan. Well, not only that, but last Wednesday. But, I mean, she is still the Red Pro Undisputed British Women's Champion. I'm going to tell you something. If my client Jamie Hayter does take a shot at that, what are we doing? Oh, Boza, Seth needs to get over that. She's lucky. He's lucky his client has any belt at all. Get over it. She has belts. Deal with it. Yes, you got that right. My client is a former AEW Women's Champion. Don't you forget it. And she was champion before Missy came in. Jamie. You tell him, lady. She's no slouch. It's funny, we had to talk about that last week. That on kayfabe, they had to talk about this. Every 60 days. I wouldn't be shocked if she did break Jade's record. Of course she would take. Jamie, take her a shot. I knew she was gonna take a shot. And it's funny. Mina Shirakawa. Well, I don't know about losing everything, but see, she doesn't like it when people take a shot at her. She can take a shot at everybody else, but she doesn't like it taking a shot at her. You know, it's funny, we didn't see a lot of physicality between Ospreay and Hangman. Oh! She got a taste of haterade, sister. That's how you do it. And oh, another one of my clients, the timeless one. And ladies and gentlemen, this is our main event. And we're ending it with the ladies, which I love. And also remember, because if you guys don't know, Jamie Hayter and Toni Storm have an unorthodox history with each other. And I'm in on it. The ladies are main eventing. Oh my God. Ooh, man. Wow. Crazy. Okay, Jade won 508 days. I'm curious if she's gonna break. I would not be surprised if she did break Jade's record. as TBS champion. I know, it's crazy. I am so excited. I'm just so excited that we get to end this edition of Dynamite with the ladies. I'm just so excited. And I'm going to tell you something. If you can give the men an overrun, the ladies deserve an equal amount of overrun as the men do. I'm just saying. They deserve it. Anything the men can do, the ladies can do better. You know, Bear's losing it. Seeing Little knocked down her butt. Good luck Friday, Courtney, with the AEW. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he will, but you know what? I'm ready to pack some punches because you took a shot at my client. You took a shot at my team, especially with the fact, because if you guys did not know, my Dolphins play his Commanders in Spain in the football season. So he did take a shot at that, which I wasn't too pleased with. But, you know, I did warn a lot of people that it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be ugly, but we will be ready. And I'm pretty sure myself and Shed are going to be taking shots at our respective clients this weekend at Double or Nothing. So, be prepared, be ready for anything else because there's a lot that can happen. But I'm so excited. I get to see from one client to another. Toni Storm on commentary. And we are ending it with the ladies. I am not mad about that. I like it. I really do like it. There she is, my wonderful client, Toni Storm. Back on commentary with Ian Riccaboni, Excalibur, and Taz. And here comes Mina Shirakawa. I know, it was crazy. I didn't even realize the backlash. I mean, they really put the backlash in because of her music. Yeah, I know, it's crazy, but I guess I wanted to try something new, but, you know, Mina has her music back. I guess because it's very infectious for Mina. She has that infectious spirit when it comes to her music because she does her dance, she does everything to go. She just has that little spirit. And she just has that oozing charisma because as she said, the fans, we want Mina. But this is definitely going to be a good match between Mina and Julia Hart. With my client, Toni Storm, on commentary right before their match this weekend. And you know, it's very interesting because not only we're going to have 2 women's matches at Double or Nothing, we're also going to include 2 ladies in an intergender Anarchy in the Arena match. So we're going to have all 6 ladies. That is a first. And here comes Julia Hart. And also, by the way, too, make sure on WWT Live's YouTube channel to check out my interview with Julia Hart from Queen of the Ring. Julia Hart was so fun to interview, and I got to learn more about her, and I really became a bigger fan of her after getting that interview. She was just so nice to interview, and I did ask her a question on how she was able to recite her theme song word for word every week, which is very hard to do. And also, she mentioned a few times on women that she wants to face. She got the chance to face Mercedes Moné, which is a woman she's never faced. She would love to face off against Toni Storm. She has not faced off against Toni yet. She has not faced off against Mariah May. I know people are really speculating with Mariah May on going to WWE. We shall see what happens because there's many layers to this. But we shall see on that. But, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is not a ghost. This is your main event. And also, the announcement, folks, if you did not know from this past week, Saturday, September 20th, AEW All Out will not be in Chicago. It will be in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, for the first time ever. So make sure, and it's actually smart because this is actually after they do their residency tour in Philadelphia. So they have a stretch to do. So make sure if you are in the Canada area, in Toronto, make sure you get it now. Toni. Well, I mean, I would be too with Julia Hart, especially with her walking and having that supernatural phase. I would be scary too. And and of course, Boza, she's a fighting champ. She has to take as much dose as she needs. She's a fighting champ. And there's a reason why she's a 4-time AEW Women's Champion. Mina, she is just showing a lot of charisma. Fans are saying, we want Mina. She is just so fun to watch. I love Mina Shirakawa. She's very fun to watch. But when she's serious, she'll pack a punch. She will pack a punch. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy. It just makes me happy to see the ladies' main event on AEW Dynamite. It's just a treat to watch. Boss man, you need to do more of this. And the only reason, and look, she's toying my client. Mina is toying. Luther. Oh, Luther. How can you not like Luther? But in all seriousness, boss man, I know you're trying to get at ease because you didn't have the Hollywood ending main event Revolution, which you should have. And you're trying to make up for it on getting the ladies to main event on Dynamite, sometimes on Collision, but you haven't given us a main event pay-per-view with the ladies. But this is one of the lessons I gotta live and learn. And I hope my client is involved in the main event for a pay-per-view match this year. I just want to see it happen. I just want to see it happen. I will say this is definitely shaping up to be a good Double or Nothing this year. I don't like using the term hot take, but I don't like using the term hot take because so many sports people use it. But I will say this, I'm going to say this. This Anarchy Arena match this year is a lot more better than it was last year. I'm not going to lie. I feel like this year was a lot more better, quality wise. And this is no disrespect to last year's match where you had Ryan Danielson, FTR, and Darby Allin taking on the Elite. It just seemed like this year it's a lot more flexibility. And yes, we did have the Final Countdown playing last year. But, yeah. I just think this year's Anarchy is a lot more better, setup-wise, than it was last year. But we are seeing a picture-in-picture. But even though the match is in picture-in-picture, the match is still going on. It looks like Julia Hart has the upper hand on Mina Shirakawa. Hey, look, I'm okay with them giving them an over. Let the ladies get an overrun for all I care. If you can give that overrun to the men, you sure as heck could give the overrun to the ladies. But either way, it's going to be an overrun. Just give them at least a good timing of the match, because I have a feeling this Dynamite is probably going to end with something related to Anarchy in the arena. That's what I'm thinking. But we shall see. And we are back live with our main event with the ladies. Julia Hart, Mina Shirakawa, alongside my client, the AEW Women's Champion, Toni Storm, doing commentary. I never have a problem with ladies main eventing. You also, what I really noticed within the women's division, they do have some baby faces. I need a very strong heel in that women's division. Yes, you got Marina Shafir, but I need a very strong heel within that women's division. I know Mercedes can pull it off, because she's a heel. She can do it very, very well as a heel. I would love to see Thunder Rosa go heel. I just feel like she works so better as a heel than she does a babyface. Julia, obviously, for some odd reason, even though she works as a heel, the fans love her. Like, the fans will cheer for her. Which is very interesting to see. I would love to see Deanna Purrazzo and Taya Valkyrie, because they do have a strong heel. And then you have Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford being as a heel. But we need a few strong heels in this women's division. And there's a few out there that can pull it off. Of course, Mercedes, Megan Bayne, Julia Hart. Just a few. Julia Hart's going for the moonsault. Ooh, and she landed on her feet. Ooh! Looks like she landed on her knee. That was not a good spot. Ooh. Mina gave a punch. Oh, hold on. That's it. Mina Shirakawa. She got the win. Hi, guys. Hi, Ryan. Hi, Hassan. Yep, you are not seeing the ghost. The main event match is the ladies. Mina Shirakawa taking on Julia Hart. Ooh, okay, here we go. Now we got some goodness on the women's side. Let's see, Julia Hart, Mina Shirakawa. These two ladies going at it. She's just about the submission hold on Julia Hart. Well, you know what? At least they're giving the ladies at least some type of. But here comes Sky Blue, especially what happened last week. And what's my client doing? Is she coming out to the ring? There is my client, the timeless one, taking on Sky Blue. Ooh! See? There's a reason why she's a 4-time women's champion. I have a feeling this is going to be a match tomorrow at a Collision. It's going to be a tag team match. I think there is going to be a tag team match between all 4 of these ladies tomorrow, which I'm okay with that. And Mina Shirakawa, she wants the belt, but get back my client. Get my client back her belt. Ooh. She was. She put her in a submission hold. She really, man, I can tell you, they're going to have a good match with each other. Actually, I would not have a problem with Mina Shirakawa being heel. I actually would not have a problem with that. That would be very interesting to see. Taking out my client. Well, Collision, we have a contract signing between FTR and Daniel Garcia and Nigel McGuinness. We're also going to see Kyle Fletcher taking on Jay Lethal. The Grizzled Young Veterans against Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Luther taking off the champ. Oh, and Renee. I kind of knew this was not going to end, but let's see. You never trust a sleazebag EVP. Oh, Samoa Joe took out. Oh my God. Samoa Joe and Powerhouse Hobbs. They took out the sleep. See? They may be EVPs, but they aren't getting away with it. And here come the rest of the Death Riders. Hi, Friedrich. Thank you. Yep, they are. There's going to be a lot of chaos. Yes, Boza. There's a lot. And there's Kenny. Here comes Prince Nazi. I need Prince Nana to come out. I need Prince Nana to come out with a lead pipe. I know he has a chain and all, but I need him to have a lead pipe in his hand. I just need Nana to hit somebody. He has a chain, but hit him with a pipe. This is going to be fun. Swerve has a signature chain. Well, at least the main event was a bit. You would think, yeah, I know, Boza. It is kind of crazy because I know last year at Double or Nothing they ended with Anarchy in the arena, but I just have a feeling that something is bound to happen in that men's tournament. Something is bound to happen. Don't know what it is though, but something's got to give. Something has to give. But I will say, at least for this year's Anarchy Arena, we're not going to hear the final countdown, unfortunately. Because if you watch last year's Anarchy Arena, they played it because of Bryan Danielson. So, but it would be kind of hilarious if they did play it during the match. It's the final countdown. That'd be pretty funny. But here comes Young Bucks trying to take out Kenny Omega. I have a feeling we may see Hook come back during Double or Nothing. I have a feeling we are going to see Hook this weekend. Make a triumphant return. Ooh, Claudio, you just hit Powerhouse Hobbs with a chair. What's wrong with you, man? You hit and he ran. Kenny's in the ring. I'm thinking we will hear Swerve's music. That's what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm thinking for Anarchy in the arena. But if Nana's going to be out there, I'm going to tell you something. If Nana is out there during Anarchy in the arena, he needs to have a weapon in his hand. Give that man a weapon. Give him a weapon, and he will be fine. That's all I need. I just need Nana to come out with a weapon. Get a weapon and start hitting somebody with it. I'm surprised they didn't do Anarchy. Well, I think they want to try to. I think because they want to get everybody ready for the pay-per-view this weekend because this is the final go home. Oh, Samoa Joe and Jon Moxley locked up. He's got. Oh. And this is where you got to watch out for Gabe Kidd because he says he's helping out Jon Moxley. And I have a person that has a score to settle with Gabe Kidd. And both of you right, he is playing the role because Pac is hurt. If you recall his match against Swerve Strickland, he did hurt him. But there's one person that Gabe really needs to watch out for. And it's a person he knows very well. His name is Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston has not been seen since last year. And he was the last guy to face off against Gabe. Because I know Eddie Kingston has a score to settle with Gabe. And another person that has a score to settle with Gabe, Mark Briscoe. Because if you recall some of the socials on AEW, Gabe, and this was after a collision, Gabe tried to pick a fight with Mark Briscoe and said something about his brother. And that was the first time I've ever seen Mark Briscoe get pissed. Yeah, I'm not surprised that they really want to do the death. Well, and you got to recall from last year's Anarchy, they had Team AEW be at the front instead of the Elite. But we shall see. Because I do have a feeling. Oh, and Wheeler Yuta took out Prince Nana. See, you got to give that man a weapon. Give Prince Nana a weapon. I need somebody to give that man a weapon. I can tell. They left the Death Riders running, but I think I think the opposite team is going to have a lot of tricks up their sleeves. Because, like I said with Gabe, I know exactly. That's why I said, give Nana a weapon. Give him a pipe or something. Because I'm going to say this. If Nana is involved in that match, yeah, that too. But I just want to see Nana beat up that little runt Wheeler Yuta. That's all I want. I just want him to beat up Wheeler Yuta. That's all I want. But that concludes the final Dynamite of before Double or Nothing. And I have to say, it was a really good, solid show. I'm actually going to go not too long with this. But we did kick off with Will Ospreay and Hangman Adam Page. They both had a very good opportunity because both of them really want this. They both really need it. And they both really want to rise to the challenge and lead AEW. And it will be the main event. But we shall see on that. They both want the same thing. Of course, they want to be the person to dethrone Jon Moxley, but they're going to have to learn they cannot do it by themselves. And they're going to need a lot of reinforcements if they want to make it happen at All In. But there's going to be a lot of things happening. We kicked off with a trios action with Jon Moxley and the Young Bucks taking on Samoa Joe, Powerhouse, Hobbs, and Strickland. And it was a really good match to kick off AEW Dynamite. I actually enjoyed the match. It's a really great way to start off. Your winners of the match are Swerve, Strickland, Powerhouse, Hobbs, and Samoa Joe. Very happy they did. We also get to see the Hurt Syndicate and MJF sign. It looked like Bobby Lashley was a little bit hesitant on signing, but soon enough he did sign. Also, after the sign-off and MJF celebrated, we got to hear from Dustin and Sammy Guevara right before their anticipated match with the Hurt Syndicate for the AEW Tag Team titles. I think this is going to be an interesting match. I know a lot of people are going to pick the Hurt Syndicate to win the titles, but it's definitely going to be a good match. We also have another match set up for Double or Nothing this weekend. The AEW Continental Championship match, Kazuchika Okada taking on Speedball Mike Bailey. Awesome match. We also get to see one of my clients, Anthony Bowens, taking on Ricochet. It was a good match between both of them. I really thought Anthony had it, but I don't know what Billy Gunn was doing with the referee, but Ricochet took out those scissors that the Acclaimed built. I don't appreciate him, that bald-headed nerd running with those scissors, but who am I to say? Winner of the match is Ricochet, and then after the match, Mark Briscoe came out with the stretcher, and it's definitely something they did. So I'm pretty sure after Double or Nothing, we'll probably see a little feud between Ricochet and Anthony Bowens, but my prediction still stands. I do believe Caster and Bowens are definitely going to have a match at All in Texas. Bound to happen sooner or later. We also get to see face-to-face with Mercedes Moné and my client, Jamie Hayter. I'm going to tell you something. Jamie had a lot to say. She had a lot to say. And I will tell you this. I know everybody is thinking, and my client, Jamie Hayter, has her back against the wall. I'll be sharing a lot more of this on Friday. But I will say this. Don't underestimate Jamie Hayter. And she got the women's title way before. Way before Missy came involved. So I will really reiterate that to everyone at that. And then we had a main event with the ladies. Mina Shirakawa taking on Julia Hart. With my client, the reigning AEW Women's Champion, commentary. I'm just so happy the ladies got to main event AEW Dynamite tonight. Solid good effort, especially from those two. The winner of the match was Mina Shirakawa, but she got attacked by Julia Hart and Sky Blue. But thankfully, Toni Storm came out, and Mina Shirakawa put a submission hold on my client, the Timeless One, sending her a cold, cold message. They're definitely going to have a match. And we ended Dynamite with Chaos for Anarchy in the arena match. We saw the Death Riders and the Young Bucks stay strong due to the assistance of Gabe Kidd, who was working with Jon Moxley. As I mentioned, be on the lookout because there is a person that does have a score to settle with Gabe Kidd, and that is Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston was the last person he faced right before he got severely hurt. So be on the lookout for that. And I'm sure he probably wants retaliation against Gabe Kidd. And also another person is Mark Briscoe because after a match Gabe Kidd wrestled, he got into Mark Briscoe's face. And it really turned into a nasty brawl. So there will be retaliation for Gabe Kidd in the near future. But that concludes the Dynamite, the final go-home show before Double or Nothing. It was actually a very solid match. I was very surprised to see the ladies' main event. They had a 40-minute plus segment, which they need to keep doing that. And they're trying to make up for it because they didn't get the ladies to main event a pay-per-view, which I believe is still going to happen. I know people are just like, oh, don't waste your time on that. But I'm manifesting and I'm believing that it will happen. And I am ending Dynamite, and I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. Solid 9 out of 10. They did everything they could and really pulled out all the stops leading up to this weekend. Wonderful episode. Solid episode of Dynamite all around. Getting you ready for Double or Nothing this weekend. I do want to thank everybody for joining on this watch along for Timeless Elite Wednesdays with me. It's a pleasure to be with all of you. We got to see appearance from Rosa, Frederick Cole, Eddie Foster joined the party. We got to see a little bit of our producer from the future, Dylan, join us for this watch along. So thank you all and everyone for joining on this watch along tonight. You can also find me chirping away on WWT Live chirping away sporadically Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. I will be back on Friday for WWT Live because we have a lot of bold predictions to make. We have TNA Under Siege, which is Friday, Saturday night's main event, NXT Battleground, AEW Double or Nothing. It's bold predictions galore we are going to have this weekend. So get ready for an episode and we'll be giving away our picks. You can also follow me on my socials. I'm at Courtney and J11 on Twitter and Instagram. Make sure to follow ISPW, where I am the newest part member of the commentary team. I'm very excited to be on board. And also, we have an event next Friday where we have an all-women's independent show featuring all the ladies. I'm very excited for this and super excited to spend it with all of you. But I'll be talking a lot more about that on Friday when I'm back on WWT Live. Thank you guys for joining with me. It's been a pleasure. I want to send a good night to all of you and make sure to follow Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet. Have a good evening. Be safe. Stay well. And I will see you on Friday.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at WW Talk Pod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at www.talkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.